Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans. Happy Sunday night. Welcome to the Springo Bingo Double Anti-Bingo Finals match between shoombabi and Sirlinkalot. We got some really interesting stuff to talk about here once we get going. Party composition, bingo boards, selection of forced lines. This is going to be a fun time tonight. My name is Luffy. I'm joined in the booth by Lord Fizzlebeef. Fizzle, how are we doing tonight?
Hello, this is going great. I see a bingo match. I'm here for bingo. I'm always here for bingo. Let me see the bingo.
Yeah, bingo, one of my favorite modes to play this game as well. A lot of fun, different tactics, different routings, different ways to play. Party composition is extremely fun right now. I like what I see here. Black belt, I mean, it's got to be the play, right?
I am a personal fan of the black belt. The thing about bingo is that you're having to go to usually far fewer places than you would ordinarily be going to. So you need a class that's not gear dependent, and that's the black belt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. To your point, we got some vanilla tiles out there as well, so we know where that eye is, we know where the Agama is, even the zombie Ds if we want a third tile backup. Hall of Dragons is on right now, should we find it, to be able to take some levels in there as well. Black belt's just the way to go. I agree.
So
we dropped our gate on our runners. Thank you.
Runners are about to start momentarily. I think it's going to be very interesting to see the difference between two red mages versus the single white mage. Let me get these synced up real quick.
Lightning 2, Saber, Ice 3, and Cake right here. Level 1 black. White magic we have. Red learnable life. And white learnable life, actually, too. And Viz 2 as well, red learnable. So Linkalot already not too bad. He was going to take a red mage anyway. Not surprised he took 2.
So, what do you want to find? Picture you have a genie. You get exactly one wish. What one spell do you want to see at level 1?
I want some kind of decent sweeper. Nuke Ice 3 is a nice replacement here. I want some kind of offensive damage to get me going early. That's what I want.
So, Shoom gets the key out of Canarian King, almost skedaddles out, but decides, no, I want to open some of these boxes. I like this play because it's going to set us up for cash for buying magic for the towns that hopefully we're going to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
decent XP in those, yeah.
Yeah,
that's some levels there, easy right there. About almost 10k XP. He's got to be sitting level 6 or 7 right now, if not a little higher. That feels pretty good. Temple of Fiends, wow, okay.
And on a lot of these proc gen maps, Topher is like right next to Canaria if you happen to fly in that direction.
Yeah. To Fizzle's point as well, we are playing Proc Gen Overworld, if you guys haven't seen that before. So basically, we take the Overworld, throw that in the blender, along with all of our other settings and stuff, and make that all different.
Shoom also going with a very interesting niche play, checking the boxes in Topher. The fun about this bingo flag set is there is absolutely nothing that is stopping you from walking up and just decking chaos right in the schnoz. All you need to do is complete 2 rows of bingo tiles. 2 complete rows, and this board today especially is... Whoo boy.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit in the beginning of what we would see the other runners force on each other. We both kind of came to the conclusion that R4 tile is just yuck.
Yeah, so let's talk R4 real quick. So we have to defeat Kraken 1. The underlying requirement of that is we have to find the Oxiel. So we have to find the Oxiel somewhere out of something somewhere. And then by the time we get to Kraken 1, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, because if we can take Kraken 1, we can take Chaos. But we still gotta find the thing. Mucking Around is a new one this year, and it's a fascinating tile. You have to hit a slime type with its elemental weakness. Slimes in the game being the muck, the ooze, the scum, and the slime. I only know a couple of these off the top of my head. I know that slimes are weak to fire. I know that I think that scums are weak to ice. I think that mucks are weak to lightning.
Yes.
And I don't remember what oozes are weak to.
Oozes are also weak to ice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can find them here in Volcano as well if he gets lucky.
Yes, you don't have to do all of them. You just gotta find one of them. We gotta Lupa ourselves. We have to go to Lefane before we translate the slab, and we gotta talk to them, and we gotta get that Lupa goodness. And then there's my personal in the running for the worst tile on any board: C2 Poison, Elemental Skill Spells, or Touches. It's been updated this year to include Touches. It's still just as awful. Because this is relying on seeing enemies in a setting where you don't see a lot of enemies. So you really need to come up with some interesting strategies on how to try and coax additional scripts and spells out of enemies. Or you can roll the dice on trying to farm them out of Topher. You technically probably could get them out of Topher. There is a damage poison that's in there. There is a Bane or two floating around in that pool. But if you're having to do that, boy, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, in years past, that tile was definitely the bane of other people's bingo experiences. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
So it's anytime I see that tile, my eye is immediately drawn to that as something I want to give my opponents. So not too surprised that Sirlinkalot picked that one. shoombabi's force line on Sirlinkalot, rather interesting. We were talking, I think, damage poison for Shoom there for the mummies, so helpful.
So, and then there's Report Back. Tell us all about Report Back.
Okay, so Report Back, it sounds like it's really not too bad. It sounds like it'd just be a time sink, but it can be just rather annoying. So after we visit any town we have not seen yet, so Elflin, Provoca, Onrak, you name it, we have to return back to Canaria, walk into the castle, and speak to the king to let him know where we've been. It's just terrible.
I did it once in practice. It was the worst.
Classic gamer saying, how often are damage poison mummies useful? Well, 50% of the way there now, so useful enough 6 minutes in.
So, Report Back is our linked tile, if you will. It's the one thing that both of our runners are going to have to do. While we are scrambling looking for key items real quick, let's talk column 5. This is the one that Shoom forced Sirlinkalot to do. We start with a potentially scary tile. Defeat Kraken 2 twice on every Topher run. There's two parts to this. Because there's only 2 fiends per path, we're going to have to find the path that Kraken 2's on, and we're just going to have to do that path. It's just better that way. And then we're going to have to hope that Kraken 2 is kind enough to fall over in a timely manner. Go ahead.
I just want a real quick point of order. The mummies or whiz mummies also had glance, so that 2 poison tile just got a lot easier.
Yeah. That makes... Sometimes you get lucky in bingo, and
yeah,
getting both poison skills on an enemy, good lord.
I mean, you've taught me when I played this in bingo that when you see a script, you kind of sit on it for a minute to see what you can find.
Yep.
So the fact that mummies or the whiz mummies had a second one, not super surprising, but that would definitely grab my eye if I'm Sirlinkalot, like, uh-oh.
And Shoom also lighting up a new tile that we have this year, Bottling Up Emotions. Show Underhill at the caravan the bottle before releasing the ferry. If you accidentally use the bottle, go to the Oasis, talk to Underhill, then immediately go back to Guy and talk to the ferry. I just love the idea of just, like, This yours, this mine. That's kind of the theme of a lot of the new tiles that we have this year, is just fun ways to just go out of your way to do silly things.
Yeah. Yeah, with the ProgGen Overworld, we kind of had to get a little creative with some of the new tiles. You know, we had to remove everybody's favorite, the putt-putt boat race. We had to, that's always fun to watch. We had to remove a couple other things that were, really specific to the regular map, as Shoom showing us a Titan-locked big island with, I think that's, what is that? Is that Provoca? Yeah, it's Provoca there too. Or is that Lefane?
No, that was Lefane. Yeah, no, we just flew past Lefane.
Okay. So you have Ruby to get to Lefane. Okay.
So let's go back to column 5 real quick and talk about kind of the rest of these that we have to do. Step on every pillar in ordeals. Some of us do that the old-fashioned way by being lucky. Today, it's going to have to be within 10.
Yeah.
Garland boxing is a particularly interesting one. Defeat Garland only with unarmed punches. Buffs, debuffs, and confusion are allowed, but no direct damage or instant death spells and no weapons. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of fine print text to go with a simple proposition. In general, that's kind of where you see the black belt shine, is you grab a black belt, and sometimes at like level 5 or 6 or whatever, you can get the job done. Else, you just come back at some point and just punch Garland on your way into Topher or something, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, especially in these flags here, where we don't necessarily need to do that unless we have to go into Temple of Fiends, because everything is open and we just need our levels and bingo board and go. So that's true. And the bridge 2, I think that was the Elfland looks quite cute.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, on Sirlinkalot's list of things to do, open every chest on TFC and Mermaid's floor. So not only are we going to have to find the Oxyel just to get in there, but the fact that we have to open every chest on TFC floor would mean that we'd have to track down the key, were it not literally the first thing we bumped into.
Yeah. Fade level 2, obviously also red learnable. Pretty good there, with Shoom taking a white mage. Let's see, Quad X and Zap. Okay, that's fine, I guess.
Comment in chat, have to comment that the Garland boxing may have been questionable there, because thoughts on Ice 3 cast during one of the Garland fights. Well, let's keep in mind that only one of our runners has to Garland box.
Yeah.
Only Sirlinkalot has to do it. Shoom can just choose not to do it and get his 2 rows elsewhere. We only need to complete 2 rows. Shoom has to do R4. Linkalot has to do column 5. And it looks like Shoom's second row is going to be column 1. Given that we've already done the Take One None, we did the Bottling Up Emotions. I see a run on column 1. It looks pretty easy. Whereas for Linkalot, the idea of a second row, I don't see anything that jumps out to me at the moment. We've locked ourselves at a column 1, row 1, and TLBR on account of not having a None. Beyond that, I'd have to look for a little bit to try and figure out what I'd do.
I suppose he can try bottom left at the top right, but he might have knocked out that Bottling Up Emotions or something already if he could have. So I think I saw Confuse also in like one of the later levels of Magic. So that's also annoying.
Looking at this, I think we've basically locked out any of the intersecting rows, so we might be just doing 2 full rows, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you get boards with just stupidly easy full rows, and even if there's no intersecting tile, you just do it anyway because it's just that easy.
He could also bring himself to do R3. I think he picked up the Rod already, so he could do Lich 1. The 3 Giants or 12 total Giants could be easy enough in the Hall of Giants. The Scorpions, we can get that walking through, Cave as well. But he didn't take a melee with that hammer, actually, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, the problem is we can't kill things with a hammer. So row
Right.
3, column 2 is out.
Yeah. Hmm.
Now, I'm partially looking at column 4 in that getting a character to 30, I mean, we can do that in Hollow Dragons, that's not bad. Seeing the skills is going to be the question mark, but it is signing ourselves up for a rod hunt that we otherwise might not have had to do. And we got to dig out the Confuse spell somewhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that at like level 7 in Gaia at a quick glance. I saw fast level 8, which definitely feels bad. Yeah, that's rough. That's definitely a rough choice. He did kind of put himself a little bit behind it, I think.
I don't think there's ordinarily anything wrong with limiting your options, so long as one of the options you've limited to is the one that you're focused on.
Exactly, yeah. Also, a quick note, if you haven't noticed, we are playing with horizontally flipped dungeons, which is why Marsh Cave looks backwards.
I have played a lot of seeds where I do flip horizontal, flip vertical, and swap stairs, so it's kind of like pressure training in that, you know, when I sign up for bingo and they're just like, oh yeah, the horizontal floors is on, it's like, oh, that's it?
Yeah, there we go. He cast fire on that first one. That wasn't going to work. That's better.
There we go.
Yeah, 15 minutes in, 3 of his rows lit up, and he knows that he has to dig out the ruby to be able to do that left niche without translating the slab. So that's some solid information for him to have. So it's an Oxyale and levels for him, I think.
So 15 minutes in, I see a lot of progress on Shoom's side of the bingo board, but that's one of the fun things I think about bingo is that more does not always equal more, right? Because I look at Take One None, we solved that at Party Select. I look at Bottling Up Emotions, all we needed to have was the bottle in hand, and we could just fly straight there and do that. Report Back, C2 poison skills, and mucking around, those did take effort, and those I will grade in favor. Whereas Sirlinkalot, we got Barland Goxing out of the way, and we got Report Back done, which is just such a... Report Back is one of the more annoying tiles in that every time you go to a town for the first time, you then have to fly back to Canaria and talk to the king.
Yeah.
That will add up some minutes, but at the same time, it's also one of those things that's just like, oh gosh, did I do that? Have I done that? Oh no.
TNT turns into Oxyale that Shoom's going to need to dig out, so we know that the TNT is going to be required for him.
Question chat, if they mess up Report Back, what happens then? So, yeah, I assume it just gets locked out. If it's a required row, ADR, someone who worked a lot on the bingo committee, correcting me in chat here. If they mess it up, they will have to return to the town, then go back to the king and retain it.
And Shoom looked like he might be pulling a slight pivot here to top left, bottom right, because he's taking that Hall of Giants, and he's mowing him down, looking to fill that center C3 R3 square.
Fascinating.
Yeah. I guess he doesn't want to swing and hit Cobras and Asps with a staff melee attack, because that can be slightly problematic with not necessarily being able to find those weapons.
Either that, or we've had a second thought and decided we really don't want to fight all 4 fiends on a Topher dive. I could see either.
Yeah.
But if we're doing BLTR, we're going to have to confuse carry at some point. Was confuse learnable somewhere, and or did we pick up a wizard stick?
Confused, like I said, I think it was level 7. So,
Ooh.
yeah, so I'm not sure if he's doing bottom left, top right, or top left to bottom right, but he's definitely trying to fill that center square.
Mm-hmm. And there's Sirlinkalot's bottle. Apparently he did not have it already, so what we end up doing with this bottle will inform us, one way or the other, a direction that Sirlinkalot's going in for that second row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pickles and Beer in chat, he has to go to C anyway and has the key, so he's looking at top left to bottom right. I'm thinking probably, but we'll see.
And there's Sirlinkalot checking off bottling up emotions. Question chat, what wiped Shoom? I'm gonna assume it was the poison damage mummies, because I believe you can find those first floor.
Mm-hmm. Did he wipe just now, or you were talking before? I didn't notice. He also could have got punched down by those giants. Okay, it was the giants.
No.
They can punch an unarmored party pretty hard.
So bottle leads to adamant.
Okay.
So we're 20 minutes in, and I would say that the only real grind we kind of saw was the giant grind.
Yeah.
At what point do you start thinking about a grind, and where do you go?
Right now, 20 minutes in, I really want to start thinking about getting my levels, like, now. In years past, the 15 to 20 minute mark was really when I wanted to be in Ice Cave, taking my levels. So I would think the sooner rather than later. But having a good idea about your bingo as well also kind of comes into play. But I think they both have a pretty good plan right now, for the most part. We know Shoom is going to do a cross-section somewhere across the board. Linkalot looks like he might be doing either R5 or bottom left to top right, so we'll see. But Ice Cave with the Eye or Hall of Dragons, if it's really necessary, is where I'm going for my levels.
Question in chat. Hall of Dragons? Yes, that is a flag that we have. It's one of the more recent flags that we have. The cave that goes to Bahamut, that big long hallway, that is now an encounter zone, and that encounter zone is full of maximum dragons. You have 2 to 4 zombie Ds, 2 to 4 red Ds, 2 to 4 frost Ds, 2 to 4 gas Ds, 2 to 3 blue Ds, and also Tia 1. Tia 1's wandering around in there somewhere. Yep.
She is one of the deeper encounters, but I mean, she could pop up right off a hard reset, which is interesting. And you definitely could see some metagaming with having to defeat Tia 1 in years past, using that Hall of Dragons without having to go to Sky and Mirage. Alright,
so
big Oxyel for Shoom. Big.
Yeah, getting that Oxyel in hand is very likely the last key item he needs. It's now a matter of just ticking boxes off the list.
Yeah, the Ruby, unless he has it, is his last thing he definitely needs to be able to get to that sort of hidden Lefane. But that Oxyel is the big one. That will clear out and really tell us if he's doing top left, bottom right, or bottom left, top right. Linkalot in Ice Cave about to go down and punch himself the eyeball.
The last couple seeds I played, I think only one of them had a safe eyeball in it. The other ones were just like, oops, here's thunder damage. Oops, here's glance. Comment in chat, I would like to argue that zombie Ds should count as zombies and dragons. I mean, reaching to the choir here.
Yeah, I mean, the existential debate on things in FFR is eternal. Just like, the katana is a knife versus a sword. I mean, you can debate a lot of things, but Odron, you are not wrong there, my friend. I mean, literally, they have zombie in the name.
Yeah. Zombie dragon is both parts. It's like peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Tells you everything you need to know.
Interesting that Shoom didn't sit on that spike tile there and try to tick off that 4 different zombies or 15 total zombies. That would have been the easier spot to do it.
I wonder if there's... Well, if we're not going for the 15 total, then I would agree with someone in chat earlier that said that it's not top left, bottom right we're doing, it's bottom left, top right. So we just need to confuse carry and then punch Kraken 2 twice when we hit Topher.
Very interesting. He's not even sitting on the eye either. Or that's Sirlinkalot. I take it back. That was Sirlinkalot. I'm sorry. I got messed up there. That's why. That would definitely explain why he wasn't taking that line. Yeah, shoombabi and the Hall of Dragons. I mixed up my runners there. Sorry, chat.
24 minutes in, and it looks like the black belt is starting to get some exercise in. Sort of getting some exercise in.
Yeah.
That's always been one of the things that I have not liked about casting life in battle, in FF1 specifically, is that they can have been up off the ground for like an action and an enemy will still target them. They shouldn't be allowed to target them. I don't care that that's how the mechanics of the game function. It's not right.
It just feels bad too. Like, at least it brings it back to, like, maybe starting level HP with 32 there and not a single HP. So, I mean, it's something, I suppose.
So Sirlinkalot first into Sea Shrine. We're definitely going to open every box on TFC floor. And we're heading down to the left. I can't help but wonder if we're visiting every room on Kraken 1 floor as well.
It's horizontally flipped.
Oh.
Yep, stairs going up is the only reason I knew.
That makes sense.
Shoom, taking this Tia fight, maybe just... Oh, yeah, let's save on game over. So.
Yeah. It's one of those things where if we got enough experience out of prior encounters, just let Tia wipe us.
Yeah. It's like the danger and the reward here of the Hall of Dragons. Like, you can get levels quite quickly, but I mean, when they punch you down multiple times in a row, it feels kind of bad.
Boy, the amount of Tiamat on this Hall of Dragons is making this grind feel bad.
Here I was saying that she's a rare encounter, and I think we've seen her 4 times already. I take it back.
So Sirlinkalot clearing out the TFC floor chests, gonna do mermaids now. Still fascinated to know where he's going for his second row, because the only clue I have is with bottling up emotions that enables a run at either row 5 or bottom left top right, Row 5 would require a trip to Sky, and that's 2 key items to dig out, and I don't know that I like that. Bottom left, top right, we got to get Confused at a level 7.
Oh, Shoom, I'm so disappointed you let Bubbles go. Hate would be so upset. Okay.
Oh yeah, and as chat points out, if we did row 5, that would be Kraken 2 twice and Tia 2 twice on every Topher dive. I mean,
oh my.
A black belt of sufficient mass could pull that off. I don't think Sirlinkalot has the time to grind there.
Right, that's... oof. I mean, you can get there, I guess, okay, looping around, and not having to loop back and fight 8 fiends instead of, 4.
Yeah.
But that's a long walk around Chaos's room. Wow, I did not even think about pairing that together. Phoenix, nice catch there. Looking at that, thinking how bad that actually could be. Not only to your point, Fizzle, having to dig out that chime and cube, but also both fiends like that. Oh boy.
So Shoom currently working on ordeals, may inadvertently step on every tile. It's yet to be determined.
Right.
We've all had that day.
We have. Alright, sees those poison mummies. We're going to fade them down, though. You gotta think he really hopes that this is his Ruby.
Question chat. Kraken and Tia always on opposite sides of Topher? No. It is random which fiends are on which side. So you could have Lich and Carrie on the left and Kraken and Tia on the right. And you won't know until you get there.
Yeah. When that first happened to me, I was so very surprised. I thought it had to be one of the first 2 and one of the second 2 on each side, and one time it definitely wasn't.
That's one of the things I have advocated that people do, and I definitely don't do myself, is if you bump into the first tile and it's Kraken or Tia, reset, go back in, try the other side.
Yeah. Alright, shoombabi pulling that necessary Ruby for him right there. That's all of his items. Now we just gotta find ourselves a Titan.
Nope, that's not Titan's Tunnel.
Nope.
This is the other hard part of ProcGen Overworld, is now the question of where we're places gets a lot more dicey.
Yep. There's a cube. Grabbing that for the XP. XP in this flag's at only 7.7 per key item. So not surprised he's picking up a couple more items here and there before he goes to take the rest of his levels. Yeah, it's fine.
There's Sirlinkalot's cube. 32 minutes in, taking inventory of where we stand. Sirlinkalot effectively has completed the required row. The only thing left is Kraken 2 twice on every Topher run. We'll sort that out later. Still working out what that second chosen row is going to be. We went out of our way to do bottle up emotions, which makes me think it's run on bottom left to top right, but we have to deal with successfully confused carry, and we've got a lot of work to do on those tiles. Meanwhile, Shoom only has one left for his required row, but it's a required sea dive that we haven't quite gotten around to yet. In terms of second row, it looked like at first we were going to be doing column 1. It now kind of seems like we're going for top left, bottom right. Although we might be going for bottom left, top right, since all we have to do is confuse a carry and then just blow up a Kraken 2 twice on every dive. We can still pivot. The option is there. It'll be interesting to see where we land.
He did take a fight of zombies and Geist, I think, outside of the little Melman Liffinish isolation over there. So he's hedging his bets slightly. He didn't sit on it to finish the tile, so we're still not sure.
Oh, shout out to our tracker, Classic Gamer, noting that Temper was at level 5. Have we also seen Fast?
Fast level 8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, we do have that free tail, so promotion's not, too hard to do, but it's definitely not something you want to do with a black belt part.
I mean, by the time you're considering promotion and everything, you probably finished your grind anyway. It's not the worst thing in the world, but because we'll have to grind up the mages for charges. It's not any one thing that kind of adds to the time sink. It's just like a lot of things all put together.
The white mage, I just noticed, had the improved magic, so she's got 9 charges of every level already. Why couldn't that have gone to the black mage?
We don't need no white mage.
I was lamenting about how it was on the white mage and not the black mage. Alright, Shoom also going to pick up the ruby, or the ribbon out of this incentive chest here in Ice Cave, which is going to feel pretty good, because he'll have an opal +4 and a ribbon for this black belt, so that mitigates any questions he had about the minus MDEF penalty.
So we're back in Ice Cave.
Yeah, he's going to the eye, I think. He was having trouble on the Hall of Dragons getting going, so I think he's doing the tile here. Yep, he's going to go in top left to bottom right. This locks it in for me.
Okay.
Okay, yep. Just there for the zombies.
Alright. Comment from our tracker in chat. Less MDEF means slow 2 is more likely to hit and fast is at level 8. These are all true statements. However, if your target lives more than 3 rounds, you did not have sufficient black magic support. So, the easiest way to dodge slow 2 is to just explode the thing trying to cast it.
Alright, Sirlinkalot taking his levels here now in the Hall of Dragons. Where's that black belt? 20. Okay. Interesting. Okay, yeah, there we go. I was wondering what Shoom was doing. I was like, are you going to do Kraken first and then go back in? Very interesting.
C is one of those floors that if you're not careful, you just land in the rote memorization thing where it's just like, yeah, going to the right. There is the way to determine if it's flipped or not by whether the little submarine thing is on the left side or the right side. That's C first floor is still one of the ones that trips me up.
Mm-hmm.
Same with
And
Bottom Volcano.
yeah, you can do it like you said with the stairs, and same thing in Temple of Fiends, like the way the stairs face and all that. But muscle memory takes you to one side where you think you're going every time, and it just sometimes it's wrong.
Comment in chat. I had Lich landed on me before. Pretty sure you can still kill Lich one punch at a time.
Probably, anyway. What's going to be the real trouble for these runners is if they get hit with a dark, and they should have Cure 4, I think, but that improved dark is really rearing its ugly head quite a bit in these flags.
Yeah, improved dark is no joke. It is a absolutely monstrous debuff for whatever melee it sticks to. I have had that in a couple of these in practice, and to take a black belt, to take like a mid-30s black belt from 8 hits to no hits several rounds in a row, that was just a wake-up call. It's just like, all right, I need to respect this a little bit. Not that Cure 4 is the answer. No, the answer is fast, but...
Sirlinkalot running into some trouble here again in those Holo Dragons, taking death after death. But I mean, with save on game over, it's not terrible, but it's got to be slightly frustrating. Alright, let's see if Shoom finishes carbonating bubbles over here. Because there's Sirlinkalot that missed it earlier, so... Again, I'm mixing up my runners here. I like it. Warp Trick, I like it. Thank you. He's got 3 casts of fast right now on level 8 magic should he want to promote, and I feel like he's going to be going back to the Holo Dragons to finish his levels, so maybe while he's there he promotes again, but that's it was in Gaia, not Lefane. It's not the worst walk back, I suppose. Really,
it's a question of time. How badly do we want to sink all that time into doing that? We're at 41 minutes. We've got our optional row completed, and we're now currently chasing the last check of the primary row. And I'm looking at the board, and I see that my opponent is still nowhere close to a second row. So...
yeah. Also feeling like that Sirlinkalot has not lit that hit level 30 on a character, knowing where we want to take this black belt would fill me with a little bit more confidence to do it if I had the time. That's kind of like, my demarcation point. When I see an opponent light a tile that has to do with a level, I know if I got to step on the gas or not.
Yeah.
Oh.
So. We're in Mirage Sky on Sirlinkalot's side. Row 5 back in business.
It is. Let me check something here. Okay, we do have patrolling Warmech. So right. he's on the maze floor somewhere.
Punching a Warmech could satisfy 2 of our problems immediately. Defeat Warmech and hit at least level 30 on one character.
Yeah.
At that point, we now have signed ourselves up for decking Kraken 2 twice and Tia 2 twice on every Topher dive. If the fates are kind, they are both on the same side.
Right.
Because otherwise we've signed ourselves up for 5 Fiends every Topher dive instead of 2.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. Wow, that's quite a play right there. Very interesting. But this could really, to your point about the bingo board here, lighting that Warmech and the level 30 on each character on one character could drastically change how shoombabi feels about his positioning.
Yeah. Here we go. It's robot chicken time. We're going maximum evasion strats. We're looking at our options. Going to go with a preemptive lock 2 just in case of evasion. Incoming lightning 2 does kind of a lot. We're not really good for magical tankiness right now with this party. 6 hits 234. Dodging's not really a problem. Power is a problem. Invis 2 still working. We're flipping to damage strats. We don't have to worry about buffing so much anymore. Ice 3 is going to go out for chip damage. Lightning 3, Warmech is turning up the volume a little bit. The black belt tanks it just fine. Everybody else, not so much. The fades are going out. Punches, 7 hits, 176. We're just going to try and bull rush this thing, get it over the top. We're trying a quad X, not going to happen. Fade goes out for 107. Fade goes out for 218 and a punch. 153, Warmech's still there. Warmech's starting to whittle down the rest of the party. This, ironically, might be a thing we want to see. But no, Sirlinkalot going for the Cure 4, keep at least one of the red mages alive. One more punch, 8 hits, 106. Down goes Warmech. And there's a level 30 character. Boom, boom, Warmech and level 30 done.
Wow, spicy.
Now, keep in mind, the level 30 character is not the black belt.
Not the one that matters.
This is not the one we want. We have a level 30 character, but Shoom doesn't know that. Shoom sees both of those and thinks, oh god, his black belt just crossed 30.
And Shoom, pivoting and really changing direction here, going to go down and punch the Agamas. This is fine, especially with the rest of the party down. Kraken did the job for him, getting the rest of the party down.
So, this is the slower but more sure grind. The problem with the Holodragons in the presence of save on game over is if you get a little overzealous and you mess up and you fall over, everything that you've just worked so hard to Dan is back on its feet again and you have to do the same thing over again. Whereas if we come down here, it will be a little slower potentially, but it far less of a chance that anything would go wrong.
And with the Agama room, I mean, it's basically free. You don't have to worry about an off encounter here and getting something stupid to hit you with a random spell that could kill you. You have, one tile fight. Where is he? Level what, too? I didn't see it.
We'll find out in a minute.
Yeah.
Health in the 450s. I don't see us being terribly high. We are at 26.
Okay, yeah. And with 8 hits already, really only going to need to go to, I think, what I said earlier, 36 will get us 10 hits. So even if we want to go that far.
If we want to go that far, it's a question of gambling, because both of them know that there is absolutely nothing stopping the other from going into Topher at this moment, but both have things that they kind of probably want to do. If I'm Shoom, I'm starting to think that rather than 36, I'm looking at 30, because I need just a little bit more power behind these punches.
Right.
I've only got one black caster. I'm feeling a little nervous about that, but if I just get to 30, we'll make a go for it. I only need to kill 2 fiends and then take on a chaos. 30 should do the job. If I am Sirlinkalot, I know that my black belt is sub 30, but I've got 3. I think we have 3 temper casters. I don't know what slot temper was on level 5. I don't know if the red mages have it.
I can't remember if it was slot 1 or slot 2.
That is the question. If it's slot 1, the red mages have it. If it's slot 2, they don't.
Yeah. Shoom's still going, level 31. Sirlinkalot into Temple of Fiends.
Sirlinkalot heading in. Let's see. First pull. Nope, that's not what we want. Normally it's what we want. Here, this is not what we want. Oh, and they are divided.
Yeah.
Sirlinkalot's gonna need 5 fiends on every Topher dive. We'll take the one that's not actually a fiend, so we go back down to 4. We'll bully it with Lightning 3. That's a weak punch. I would feel nervous.
8 hits, 240.
Alright, 727. This is better.
Yeah. And Shoom stopped. I think he got to 10 hits. He was at 33 or 34.
Okay. We're just gonna...
Let's see. This.
Yep, smash through carry, and away we go. Meanwhile, Sirlinkalot... Hey, guess what, everybody? We have Chaos Floor encounters.
To follow up Pickles and Beer in chat, yeah, Black Belt had plus 20 hit percent, so, strong.
Mm-hmm. So here's Sirlinkalot going with fades and locks. Incoming Inferno. Inferno is a very rough spell if you don't have fire mitigation.
Oh, no heal pots for Sail and Canaria.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Nah, we don't need no heal pots.
We have 69 exactly. Nice.
Just bash through. You're fine. Shoom has a white mage. He's got infinite heal pots.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Shoom now on the scene in the Temple of Fiends. Sirlinkalot still working on that first kill of Tia. Shoom getting shut down by Carry and says, nope, let's try the other direction. Yeah, there we go. This is a Lich. We can deal with that.
Okay.
Now Shoom versus Tia 2. Test punch.
That's a big punch.
8 hits, 120. Ooh.
Oh, that's a very, very big punch on that black belt.
That's fine. We got all these weird spells like Cure 4. Who even has those? 6 is 435. Brack, 6% of the time. It doesn't work this time. Invis 2. Let's get some evasion going. Tia trying so hard to take down that black belt, not quite getting there. The Cure 4 gets turn order, the Temper goes off. Incoming melee damages the white mage, but it survives. 8 hits, 699, down goes Tia. Shoom is through the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Sirlinkalot still working on this Tia 2 problem. Inferno doing a number on the party. Shoom doing a last-minute party jiggle.
He did not pick up that ribbon out of Ice Cave.
Ooh, we got a ruse stick. We got 2 ruse sticks. Let's begin. We're going to ignore defense on the black mage and go for tempers. Incoming melee targets the black belt. Invis 2 going off in a ruse momentarily. Meanwhile, Sirlinkalot through both Tia 2s, gonna have to take on both Kraken 2s. Shoom buffing that black belt like there's no tomorrow. Test punch. 7 hits, 342. Not spectacular, but I've seen worse. We're gonna go for some more temper. We need more power here. Stun locks down the black mage, but after the temper goes out. 8 hits, 820. That is a better number. We're gonna Cure 4 that black mage, Niest in case. Stop. Oh, the white mage stops. 5 hits, 301. Chaos still there. Let's try a little bit more temper. Incoming lightning 2. This temper, do we hit 4 digits? We do. 5 hits. 1,273 down goes Chaos. Shoombabi, our bingo champion, finishing first place, 51 minutes, 41 seconds. Get your GGs out in chat.
GGs. Linkalot taking out Kraken 2 for the first time.
Gonna heal up real quick. Let's try Kraken 2 again. We've got lots of Invis 2 casts, so I will say that the staying power of Sirlinkalot's party is kind of a sight to behold.
Right?
Test punch. 8 hits, 488. Not bad. The black mage detonates, but it's fine. We don't need that one right now. We'll need that one later. Fade for 121. Fade. for 129. Incoming punch only does single hit 40 damage. Outgoing punch, down goes Kraken 2. And that's Sirlinkalot on to Chaos. And we are joined in the booth by our first place finisher, shoombabi. GG, man, how's it going?
Thanks. It's going super swell.
GG's, man.
I was real worried towards the end there because I know that he was Topher ready slightly before I was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really the back and forth there was quite interesting because it looked like you had like what we felt was a fairly decent lead, and then Linkalot pulled the I'm gonna go to the sky and throw the kibosh on whatever you guys were thinking to go and do a war mech, and it was very interesting to see what happened from there.
If by interesting you mean my back is hurting and my stomach is hurting, yes, it was very interesting.
Funny thing is, I know exactly what was going through your head. So, I congratulations. You raced extraordinarily well. Very well played. Great tournament.
Thanks.
So, I guess my first question is column 5. Walk me through that.
I mean, if you look at the bingo board, I walked through 4 different choices before settling on column 5.
Mm-hmm.
Report back was a gimme. Like, that is it's such a devastating square. The TFC and Mermaid, I figured Linkalot's been playing Black Belt every chance he gets, so he doesn't want to open chests and he doesn't want to dig out an Oxyel. So I tried to do guaranteed time wastes instead of RNG time wastes, like the C2 Poison Elemental that could absolutely have destroyed me, except I saw them within 5 minutes. So it's like I didn't want to take it by chance. I was like, you know what, let's force him to waste some time and then hope that I just outplay him, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And while we were talking, Sirlinkalot made it through Chaos, finishing second place, 54 minutes 34. That is less than a 3-minute difference between our two runners.
Mm-hmm.
GG.
GG's. See if he wants to pop in for a quick little post game as well.
So while we're waiting on that, I guess my next question is, it seemed, at least from our vantage point, that there was a lot of keeping options open, because for a while I thought you were going to do column 1, and then there seemed to be some question on whether bottom left top right or top left bottom right. Was that accurate, or did you have a plan the whole time that you stuck to?
So I start off top left bottom right as like this one will be easy once I see my 2 poison, because I have to do all the other stuff anyway. If I have to defeat Kraken, I'm going to be in C anyway, so I might as well open some chests. Which also led me to row 1 as a possibility. Bottling up emotions, I just happened to stumble into the caravan, so I was like, all right, I'll toggle that and we'll see. But I really didn't want to have to fish out confuse and go down to carry. Column 1 definitely was an option, but also fighting all of them and trying to melee down Cobras is like the worst.
And we are joined in the booth by our second place finisher, the second place overall finisher of Springo Bingo, Sirlinkalot. How's it going?
Pretty good.
So, how was that?
I mean, it didn't feel too bad until I realized I misread mucking around, because I thought he had to exploit the elemental on all of them, and I was like, oh, that one's kind of a pain. We'll take that one. And when I saw him light it up so early, I'm just like, wait, there's no way he could see a metal slime this early. And I went and looked at him like, oh, well, crap, I've made mistakes.
And I guess I'll have the same general question to you. Knowing now what you know, would you pick row 4 again?
No, he'd have column 5.
Yeah, I could see that misread, thinking that I need to go into Sky. That's that's definitely a time waste if I did. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking going into Sky for the metal slimes, having to find all 3 of them or all 4 of them on top of that can possibly take times depending on where they roll in the encounter tables. And at first you didn't have it lit and I was already in Marsh Cave and I already ran into 2 of them. Like, well, darn it. I didn't want to see these while I was going through Marsh Cave, so.
And I guess one other question, party composition. I believe both of you went black belt strats. Shoom went for the solo white mage, whereas Sirlinkalot went for the double red mages. Shoom, black belt, white black. Talk me through it.
I am never taking a red mage if I'm not forced to. I'd much rather a dedicated, I know I can get the spells that I need, with the exception of the blessings.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, white mage just, it satisfies everything I need. And so I wasn't going to risk it on a red mage as to, okay, like, yeah, I could have gotten nuke, but I also have a black belt, so why do I need nuke? So, like, it would have made probably searching around a little bit quicker, but I think the game tends to like fall into the back half, right? Like when everything's going, it's just a matter of getting the carry online, and so like it doesn't matter what spells I have there, or at least I felt like it didn't.
Sirlinkalot, similar question. 2 red mages. Talk me through that.
Well, one, I like my red mages, but that's part of it. But I like to gamble more on that. If I don't need to bring a white mage or something like a crazy like harmful or fade rolls red locked, I'd rather take more red mages because more offensive casting. If fast temper roll early, more casts of it, and then you can go more speed and power. Because from the very beginning, as soon as I saw column 5, I was like, I'm going to do row 5 with the black belt having the plus 20% hit. I'm like, if I can get fast and temper on my black mage and red mages, I'm going to just roll through everything. Like fast, 2 tempers, get it to level 30. It's going to have 8 hits, or it'll have 16 hits. Nothing's going to stand in my way at that point. Fast rolled 8, and I'm like, I'm not even promoting for it. And yeah, I like my red mages. And the extra vitality. The big thing for me was the extra vitality, knowing that my mages might not have as many levels potentially. Them just having more health, knowing what I was going to do is I was going to have to fight Tia 2 and Kraken 2 twice, and that extra health might come in handy.
Luffy, do you have any questions for our runners?
No, I think we covered it. We were curious about the party composition, and we all know Nicolai loves his red mages, so no surprise. And Shoom, he got me playing white mages a couple years ago, even though I don't like them, so I'm not surprised there as well. It was a great race by both runners. We were curious what you were going to do, Link, a lot, and you sounded like you were dedicated to R5 completely from the get-go, and you fooled us for the majority of the seed, but you caught up quite nicely and gave Shoom a run for his money there at the end. The Fiends were just a little unkind in Temple of Fiends, which is kind of what they do. But GG's to you. Great tournament. GG's to Shoom for the victory, and that was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for letting me be here to watch.